critical mass. And since you're offering a limited all-you-can-eat model, the binge way of business of consumption, right? You can use that as a value proposition to generate buzz. Just that's why buffets use that as a promotion when they. That's the whole reason why buffets exist, is because that binge model, and that's why the success of Netflix is because when a new show comes on, you see people just rush into it because they can watch everything. They don't have to wait every single week. And finally, it provides analytics. So you can, since it's built in like a tree structure, all the data you can see the links between each referrals. Then you can find the clusters and subclusters, or your start nodes if it's a hub model, to identify demographic groups or individuals of certain clicks in the graph. And having these people identified is very important to survey them, so you can coordinate your surveying efforts, so you know why some of them left, why some of them did this, why some of them did that, so you can better understand your user. And if you don't understand your users, then you're not going to build a very enticing product. And also you can have the benefit of identifying and power referrers. That way, if you can get them to spend more tweets or whatever to spread the word, that would be great. And obviously you want to having all these data, then you can better coordinate with your other marketing efforts. And now let's talk about implementation. How can we actually implement this whole referral program? Well, first of all, you gotta look at your product. You gotta know what your product is doing, and then you gotta see if it makes sense to actually use this system, because there is financial. It has to make financial sense, and it also has cost limitations. Your product needs to be able to scale into a certain point that it is not going to create a huge financial burden. So you're looking at your product first, and then you want to look at your business model. Or if you don't have a business model yet, you got to look at your planned business model, what you're planning to do, how you're going to monetize, and then take that into account as well. And then you also look at your reward scalability. What this means is that how are you doing rewards? Are you going to use the incentives that I presented with the time credits? If you are, then how are you going to distribute the rewards according to the actions they do, and whether or not this will scale? Like, let's say you're actually decide to hand out swag like t-shirts or whatever for it. Obviously this is not going to scale, because you could scale, but scaling t-shirts is much harder than scaling bits and bytes. And another good thing to have is if you have a network effect in place. So if you're a startup that has some kind of machine learning data, like where the more data you have, the better, the smarter machine will get more people to use, which will generate more data. That's perfect for this, because having network effect will make financial sense a little bit more. And finally, you can pick and choose all the features you have. You don't have to use every single one of them. Pick the one that makes the most sense. But I think the basics is that compound incentives and ecosystem referrals are going to be key, and they're going to be essential. Like I said, ecosystem referral and compound incentives are fundamental, and some features do have to be adjusted though. Like if you have 10K API requests from one account, versus 10 million daily requests. Sometimes that's unsustainable. It's best if it has something limited. Like for example, let's say YouTube videos. Okay, if you are basically directly interacting with users, a user can only watch so many videos in a 24-hour. Whereas if your customer is not a general video watching user, but rather like an API platform that uses your video, where they can distribute to infinite number of users that can watch videos, and you have a scaling problem that is just unsustainable. And especially if you're going to offer them all you can eat, like that'll just eat up your servers, and you'll pay a lot of server costs. So like I said, all you can eat and binge mode only works to certain services. You gotta find out like your spending ceiling, what it is, and if it's not easily reached. Either that, or you can have, if you have networking effect in place, where you get exponential value from growth versus spending. So like going back to that example of YouTube watching, like let's say the platform that you license yourself to like does some sort of or your platform does machine learning. The more users you have, the more data, the more better recommendation. And your business model is to sell this machine learning technology, license it to other businesses. Then it might make sense to license it to other big party distributor or platform, so that you can get as much data as possible. But yeah, I'd recommend at least having network effect to use all you can eat, or else it's or at least know your spending ceiling. So this is generally, once you implement it, this is basically what it looks like for the referral history table, like we saw in the image in the picture on the bottom right. So at the beginning, you want to have this username for tutorials, because this is when a user comes in here, like now that you understand what this referral program, the new model is, but the users generally don't. They're not gonna understand what the heck is +1 days, +1. You gotta have some sort of explanation to them, and these tutorials are gonna help them understand, better pick up, get a sense of how this program works. And basically the rest of them are just some examples of how this whole program works. And then when it's actually in production, I would actually put explanation bubbles next to these things, and if they want to click it, there's a FAQ pop-up that tells them like what it is, what this thing does, and it will explain to them concisely how this works and how it benefits them. But as you can see, all these rewards of time credits is this person is accruing a lot of rewards that are beneficial to him, and you can see it is beneficial to the people they refer to. So it's very obvious the value proposition to the user. And finally, let's do an example implementation. I'm actually a founder of my own startup. I wouldn't say a founder, more like a creator, because my startup is just a very simple MVP. It's very, very raw. I'll show you right now. Here it is. It's basically, what I'm trying to do here is mimic your contact book, your address book. Like, how all you guys who have apps, who have startup products, you all have an invite page, especially if you're mobile. You want to invite people. You want to get people to invite more people for your app, so you have an invite page, right? So since this is an MVP, I'm trying to imitate that invite page. And what this does is you can add contacts. Let's say we'll use the general contact since we're not going to import any address books right now. So we'll add a bunch of people, and this is just a fun feature that I basically inputted because I want some social signal so I can hold on to data later and then actually know that which user people actually have a signal on. So let's generate some pictures too. Alright, cool. Next. So we got all these people are my friends, right? This is my contact book. This is picture this as a contact book on your mobile app. And I'm trying to, like, imagine I'm a user in your app and now I'm prompted with all my friends. I'm trying to invite them for to spread word about your app. Let's say pick this guy, and then pick this guy, pick this girl, and I double click on them. I see, and this is where the feature came in. Oh, okay, hold up. There you go. So I set a new picture. The reason why I added a picture is to do this is because so that I can have some sort of signal where I can later on do collect the data for potential machine learning. That way I can at least have indicator that this person is at least somewhat interested, the user is at least interested in this person, Sheridan Upton, interested enough to at least change the picture, right? So that way at least all these people have idea that there is some sort of connection in between. Because let's be honest, most people's contact address book isn't gonna look like this. There's gonna be crap, useless numbers that you never heard of, or like random people drunk text but dialed you, and then you're gonna like most of them are gonna be useless, and then some of them you don't even have portraits and stuff. So if they're empty, then the picture function comes in. And then you added these guys, and then let's go invite them. And this is where the entire business of my app, my startup, is going to be at. You see all these suggested. It's currently disabled because I don't have data to actually make smart recommendations right now. So it's not. It's but generally this is where I'll charge people. This is where the monetization comes in for all these smart. Because let's say if you have an app, right, and you're at the invite page, and then now the user wants to invite, let's say, all these people by email, and then some of them by Twitter direct message, Instagram, whatever, Pinterest, right? There's no reason to not do this suggested. You're just leaving extra invites and extra high quality invites, since these are going to be smart recommendations. They are high quality growth numbers, and then you're gonna leave them off the table if you don't do this, right? Like basically, there's no reason for, well, it's disabled, but there's no reason for the user not to click these. I mean, they're suggested, and then sometimes it could be, oh, I forgot. Oh yeah, you know what, Brody and Hayden, they could use this, and then if they do click these, that's just free extra users for you to grow your app. It's just logically speaking, this is a must-have for any apps that try to grow. So then I send invites, and then let's say the invites of HTTP myapp.io, and then let's say blah blah blah. Hello, yeah, share this and then confirm. Okay. At yahoo.com. Don't do Yahoo. Gmail. Yeah, there you go. And that's basically my startup. And let's go back to the talk. So you can see this MVP stage is very, very raw. The vision is that, since I said this is an invite page for all your apps, I want to make it into an API, either an API or a distributable engine inside all your apps to help your apps grow. Either that, or I can do it like a React or a component or something